Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome back to Arabic. In this lesson you will learn about the Sukoon, Tanween or what's known as double vowels, and finally Waqf, which is stopping. Okay, so here we have the three types of vowels in Arabic, which if you want to know more about them, see video 1. We have Fatha, we have Kasra, and we have Dhamma. So Fatha is a vowel on top, Kasra is underneath, and Dhamma is a little 9 over the letter. Now, what happens if there is no vowel? Well, in that case, in Arabic we have something called the Sukoon. Okay, and many of you that have already learned Arabic alphabet will already know what a Sukoon is, and a Sukoon is basically you stopping on that sound. Okay, and to give you an example of this, we have the word spider, ankabut. Okay, and you'll see that we have ankabutun, and this noon has a sukun, it has a little circle on it, and a good way to remember what it does is that it's a 0, meaning that it has no vowel, and so you stop on it. So you say ankabutun, spider. And the second part of this lesson is the tanween. And to help you understand what the tanween is, let's say, for example, we have the word ash-shams, and shams is actually the sun, if you didn't realize already. Ash-shamsu. Now, at the end of this word, we've put one vowel. But if we were to remove the alif lam, then what we have to do is we have to add a double vowel. And so this double vowel is known as tanween. So let's write double there. Double vowel. And so you can have two dhammas, you can have two kasras underneath, or when you have two fathas, then what you have to do is you have to add an alif at the end of the word. And we'll explain why at the end of this lesson. So you have sham, sun, shamsun, shamsin, and sham, sun. Okay? Now some of you might be wondering why a lot of times when I write words, I'll add two dhammas at the end. Okay? And this dhamma tanween, what it signifies is the default state. Because in Arabic grammar, we have states. Okay? And the dhammas tell you usually that this word is in its default state. And what are those states, and what does it mean by default state, and what does it mean when nothing is changing the state? Well, we'll get into that once we start that subject. But for now, just know that these dhammas, they represent the default state, and that's what their function is for now. And they give us a normal meaning. So khalidun qa'imun, qa'im means standing. So this sentence means Khalid is standing. And to finish off the tanween section, we have these two basic rules for tanween. Number 1, that tanween can only come at the end of a word. Okay, so you can't say shumsun or something. You can't do that. The tanween can only come at the end. Now this word is wrong. Why? Because the second rule states that it cannot gather with alif lam in the same word. So you can't say ash-shamsun. You actually can only say shamsun, or you can say ash-shamsu. Okay, so make sure you understand that they cannot gather with alif lam in the same word. And the third topic of today is that of waqf. And what is waqf? Waqf means that I take a word, or I finish a sentence, and I stop at this last word. So I say Khalidun qa'im. And what I've done there when I say qa'im is I've deleted this final tanween, or this final vowel. Okay, so you can have two dhammas or one dhamma, you can have two kasras or one kasra, or you can have one fatha. So with these 5 vowels, when you make waqf, you just stay silent and you basically replace them with a sukun. Okay, so the sentence still means the exact same thing, but since I'm stopping and I'm not speaking anymore and I've completed my sentence, I just say Khalidun qa'im. I don't need to say Khalidun qa'imun. And so in that case, I just put a little sukoon there in place of what I had there before, and that's how I make the waqf. Now the only exception, as you'll notice, I've put 5 vowels here because the 6th one is our 2 fathas. Okay, and like I mentioned earlier, when we have 2 fathas, we put an alif at the end. And what that means is that when we get rid of the 2 fathas to make waqf, to make this waqf, we still pronounce this alif. So shamsan is pronounced shamsa with a waqf. Okay, so this is, when it's continuously pronounced, and this is in a state of waqf. And I put this little line here because this little line signifies that this a or this is stretched. Meaning we don't just say shamsa because of this alif, but we say shamsa, shamsa. And finally, the last thing I wanted to mention today is that you'll still see me pronouncing that last vowel even though I finished my sentence. And the reason I do that, and the reason I still write the vowels in, is because it is best to pronounce the last vowel for learning purposes. Okay? So thank you all for watching. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be with you all.